Today I'm going to teach you a great tool for really creating the life of your dreams and doing it quickly, easily, without having to write down all your goals and figure everything out and spend hours doing something. You're going to be able to do this in literally minutes. I do it every year, right around this time of year. I also sometimes do it on my birthday, depends on my many moods, but basically it's a tool that I've co-opted from a counseling training ideal called motivational interviewing. And motivational interviewing is a evidence-based model that helps us counselors motivate you clients into doing things that you necessarily don't want to do. And so it's a great tool, and I'm going to teach it to you right now. It's so easy, you can do it in 5 minutes. So here we go. You're basically going to take a piece of paper and you're going to draw a circle. And you're going to think of your dream life. How do you want to be spending your time a year from now? Like, if you have the whole year to create your dream life, what's your goal? And you could say 5 years from now, but I like to say 1 year from now. So how are you spending your time? And I divide mine into certain categories, and I suggest you do the same. You have to figure out what's important to you. How do you want to be spending your time? Mine is divided into health and fitness, work, how much I'm working, how much time I spend in these categories, my romance, my time with my partner. I separate out family and friends into another category, meaning my kids really, and my parents and my sister and all that, and time with my friends. And next year I'm actually thinking of separating out friends and really making 3 categories instead of 2. But anyway, here I am right now. And then I have my finances, how much time and energy I spend on finances, fun and hobbies, travel, that kind of stuff, and then my spirituality. So these are the main focuses of my current life, and so and what I want in my dream life. So, and I have a little form that I use, and I am happy to send it to you if you want to email me at abby@abbymedcalf.com. But really, you can just do this on your own. I promise. You just draw the circle, and then basically you're going to divide the circle, like you see that I did here, into how in your dream life you want to spend your time. Okay, so like for example, I have that I want to spend about 30, in a year from now, I want to see myself spending about 30% of my time with work. I love work, so I have no trouble with that number being a little bigger. Friends, kids, that kind of stuff, about 24% of my time. My wonderful partner, another 24% of my time. And then and those numbers are 24, which is a little weird because I have 2% of my time I want to be spending on my finances. I don't really want to spend much time on my finances, and I might even take that off as a goal soon. And then my spirituality, about 5% of my time. Fun, travel, all that kind of stuff, about 10% of my time. And then my health and fitness, another 5%. And I do this thinking of my current, like a day. So for example, I got up this morning, I worked out, and then I spent time meditating and working on what I call my hour of power every day, which isn't a full hour, but the time I spend sort of, in working on me and not just on like stuff, right? And then, so I'm thinking of the day, and that really doesn't take that long. My workout, is about 45 minutes to an hour. My taking time for my spirituality is about 45 minutes to an hour. So you can see what I'm talking about. So really when I think of a full day, 5% is about right to be spending on that. Now, I have my food pretty much dialed in and things like that, but if you were on a diet or, are really trying to change your food, or if you were someone who's trying to stop, let's say, drinking, or, spending money, whatever that is, you might in your dream life have this different, you might add that category, I should say. You might add those categories. So that's that. So that's what I do first. I say, here's my dream life. Here's how I want to spend my time. Then I take another circle, and again, you can just take a plain piece of paper, draw a circle, and then and you have to do it in this order. I need you to write up your dream life, and then I need you to draw up how you're currently spending your time. And this is how you're going to know what you need to work on. So for example, mine shows that I currently spend about 40% of my time at work, and I want to make that 30. So when I look at my goals for the year and what I want to do, I have a very specific goal around how I want to think about work. Oh, how can I do something where I spend a little less of my overall time working, doing things around my business. So I'm already thinking of things I can do that would create, for example, more passive income, that where I don't have to be here one-on-one all the time. Even doing things like these videos, you know, I batch them, I put them together. There's ways that I can spend my time better and more wisely and still serve and still feel like I'm doing the job that I feel driven to do, which is to help people. And so, and then I have a little more time, interestingly, like in my romance, a little more time there, a little more time in my my fun and travel and that kind of stuff, because I'm trying to just plan more trips. So basically what I'm going to do is just compare those two circles and see. So some of you might have a goal of, oh, I want to spend, you know, 30% of my time at work, but in your current life, the one you did second, right? So your dream life says, oh, 20% at work. But then you look at your current and you spend like 70% of your time at work. That's when you have to think to yourself, oh, how do I get from here to here? There's a gap there between what I say I want, is my dream, and what I'm currently doing. How do I bridge the gap? What kinds of things can I put into place to bridge that gap? And what it does is it helps you get focused. So, and what I'm going to suggest is that you just focus on one thing this year. Don't focus on losing weight and getting fit and changing your job and finding a partner and, you know, all these things. It's just too hard. So instead, look at that list, see where you spend the majority of your, see what the biggest gap is between what you say your dream life spending time is and what your current life is, and work on that one first. I'm not saying you can't work on the other ones, and I'm not saying if work ends up being the priority, but you know, you don't like how you're eating, don't go eating at McDonald's every day. That's not the answer, but don't make that the first priority. You know, you got to set up your priorities and do one thing at a time so that you can actually be successful. So this is a tool I've been using for years. I hope you find it as helpful as I do. As I said, I'm happy to email this to you. You can email me at abby@abbymedcalf.com and I'll get it out to you. And my name's Dr. Abby Medcalf, and I help people create connection and happiness in their relationships, even if their partner won't do a thing. Have a great day.